Greetings YouTube! Today time for a bargain video. I apologize for the noise in the background. My wife is doing some laundry. First we have Vikings, Viking World, which is all about Vikings. It's kind of a picture book aimed at, a tabletop kind of market. I picked it up for $1 at Goodwill. It's probably just going to end up in a video, and then I will probably donate it to somebody who might like that thing. But my wife points out and goes, he's very photogenic. Then we have an issue of Kobold Quarterly Magazine, which I have not read. We have the Invincible Iron Man Ironheart, first 5 issues. I have not read that. We have Nowhere Man, which is a graphic novel. I've never read it. We have a copy of Make Magazine, which I've also never read. I picked it up for like $1. Black Bodies and Quantum Cats, which are stories about tales from animals and physics. We have the RIP. RIPD, which is a magical cop hunting ghost thing. It was a bad movie, but I thought I'd give the comic a try. Red Sonja Claw, the Devil's Hand. Never read that. We have Munchkin, Monster Manual 2.5, which I picked up for a lark. The Last Battle, when U.S. and German soldiers joined forces in the waning hours of World War II in Europe. Essentially, some SS officers were ordered to murder people because they didn't want evidence behind. And the U.S. and German members of the regular army joined up to stop them. We have a Pathfinder book, Mythic Monsters Revisited, and a Starfinder module, which was part of the free RPG day, which I got free while I was there. When you pick up games at that store, they throw in one of these that they have left over from the day. Okay, more books coming up, which is kind of sad because I have way too many books, but that's what it is. I love them so much, though. The Book of Divine Magic and the Book of Arcane Magic, both for Pathfinder. I picked those up on sale. We have Lord of the Rings role-playing game. This is the core book, and it was originally $40. I paid $5 for it, and this made me smile because someone fully annotated the pages. I mean, there are note stickers here on all these different topics, which made me smile. So I'm going to give that a look. The Swedish warship Wasa, Gorgon, Paleontology Obsession, and the Greatest Catastrophe in Earth's History. The Perhapsonauts, which my wife says a friend of ours really liked, and he's a comic guy. I mean, like, he works in the comic industry. So I picked it up for $2, so I'll give it a read. The Mermaid and the Minotaur, Sexual Arrangements and Human Malaise. I think that's a book that was very important when it was released. Brewer's Dictionary of Phrase and Fable. A guy at the flea market, he really likes this one, and he keeps a copy for himself, and I picked it up for like 50 cents. The Love Life of Ancient Greeks, which made me smile. The Heart Attack Sutra, which is about Buddhism. That's my wife's. How I Made 100 Movies in Hollywood and Never Lost a Dime by Roger Corman. This should be fun. It's stories about his career in filmmaking. And Gunpowder, Alchemy, Bombards, and Pyrotechnics. Obviously, about gunpowder. Okay, on to way too many DVDs and TV shows and things. We have Fat Man and Little Boy on DVD, the story of the first atomic bombs. Incubus with William Shatner, smack dab in the middle of that cover. I paid $2 for 3 movies, and that was one of them. This was one of the other ones, Knowing. I'm not expecting much from that. And then The Covenant, which is by Rennie Harlin. I didn't know that, so I thought I'd give that a watch. An animated Wonder Woman. Franklin, which is supposed to be some very strange gothic detective story. The guy with the mask is a cop. That's weird. Then we have The Secrets of Isis, the entire 2-season series. I have such great memories from this show. It made me smile as a kid, and I had such a crush on both these women. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, that is an upgrade for us for the commentary track from our DVD. The entire series of Jerry Anderson's UFO. Awesome. This is the complete UFO mega set. I paid $15 for that. Wild America, I paid $5 for that at a yard sale, the same where I got UFO. This is seasons 7 through 12. My wife has an affection for that series. Animated Teen Titans, an upgrade for Juno because I wanted the commentary track. Mystery Science Theater 3000, and this is set volume 5, and I got this at a flea market for $2. $2. We still have one more to watch. They are so horrible. Beowulf and Grendel, a version of the story I've never seen. Looper, which mostly I want to listen to the commentary track. Time travel films, for the most part, are dumb, but I want to listen to the commentary track. The Great Wall, which is probably going to be horrible. Big Trouble, a film which is kind of a heist kind of film. I like those. We have Snow White, which we did not have in our collection. Season 2 of The Muppet Show. My wife is a major Muppets fan. I got that for $10. Independence Day Resurgent. Oh, was that horrible. The Unknown World, which is a documentary. The Return to Oz. Memories, which is 3 short anime films. And Face Off, which is an upgrade from our DVD because I wanted the commentary track. This is the special collector's edition. I don't know, I paid like $4 for it. So, on to the last section of media. Here we have Hellraiser, which I got for the commentary track. Charlie Brown's The Great Pumpkin, which is a repurchase because we can't find our copy. The Phantom Tollbooth, which is my favorite animated film of all time, and I picked it up used for a bargain. I was so happy. The Huntsman Winter's War, which is a sequel to the first one. I actually haven't seen the first one yet, but I want to, so that I can go and watch this one. But I picked it up for a good price. Black Holes Explained, which is part of the Great Courses series. Oh, now you can listen to the washing machine tell me it's done. Rain Man, which I got for the commentary track. Forward Unto Dawn. I didn't expect much from this. I think I paid $1 or $2 for it, but I was actually surprised it had very good quality. It was interesting because I don't play the game, but I know enough just from being on the internet. Picked up some of it. The live-action Jungle Book, the animated Batman series, Volume 1, which I picked up for like $5. Fighting with Charming Potato, and Cowboy Bebop: The Complete Collection, which I have the movie, and now I have the series. So I'm going to probably watch the series first. We have a Santana double album, Benny Goodman, Tony Bennett, and Lucia Miserelli, who plays violin. I picked those up for $1 each at an estate sale. We have a nail puller, which I picked up cheap and brand new, never used. Same place I got this Revel monogram razor saw, and some more hooks for hanging bells. We have this large chisel type tool. Don't know what it was originally. I'll probably repurpose it. We have a flashlight from, what's this brand? J5 Tactical. Never heard of them, but I thought I'd give it a look. We have 2 Swiss Army knives, which I picked up for $1 a piece. I'll recondition them, sharpen them up, and just probably give them to somebody. We have Lake Tahoe Rainbow, which I got for my wife because she likes rainbows. Because, well, let's be honest, who doesn't? We have a Sarnabel, which actually has an interesting handle because it hangs from your fingers for ringing. The bell is kind of plain, and I think it might have been like a sample or a test piece or something, but it has the original Sarnabel label, and that's really what I got it for, because it had the original label. Then we have this piece, which is a bright red steel bird bell, and it has such, for a steel bell, it's got a wonderful sound. My wife really liked the fact that it was bright red. We have this, which goes onto a standard Nalgene water bottle, and it is a light. So you use this to turn your water bottle into a lantern. Then we have a microphone, which I'm going to try and see if I can get some better quality out of my videos. I know there are people out there who will be thrilled at that. Okay, one more section of tools, I think. Okay, last section. This is a picture frame, which is 2 pieces of lucite with some rare earth magnets that just hold themselves together. I picked it up for very little money. I thought it was cool. At first I thought it was just this piece, but I saw the magnets. I'm like, okay, the magnets are for something. So I started rooting around because it was a by the pound place, and I found the back of it. So I'm going to find something to do with that. Maybe I may just use it as a picture frame. I don't know. but I thought it was very cool. And even if I just use this, it's a nice piece of lucite. We have these 2 foam pads, which my wife got because she just wants to use them for comfort. So we're just gonna bind them together so she can use them as a seat pad. We have a 00 knife. Now I have one of these in plastic. This is wood, and this is not an officially sanctioned James Bond knife. It's in slightly rough shape, but I only paid like $2 for it. Then we have this antique wrench, which I picked at an estate sale, which was a beautiful house, unbelievable. But I kind of like the patina and the red paint on it, so I just thought it was attractive. Now we have a Klein old school style screwdriver, and you use it by pushing down. And you can lock it in place so it just is a screwdriver. And then you can reverse it so it goes in the other direction. And I had one of these when I was a kid, which I thought was kind of cool. And I got it for a nice price. And it's a nice shape. I didn't know Klein made one of these things, man. Because this is old school. You know, everybody uses drills and things like that now with bits on them. That's what I usually do. Or electric screwdrivers. But this is old school, and it works nice. We have a tube, a nature tube, from Safari Limited. My wife got me. It's skulls. That was a gift from her to me. We have a couple of sticks here, which they're the kind of thing that an officer carries. And I thought these were cool. This is trench art. You have a round here and the back of a round there, and there's some inlay in here. And this is from Korea. This actually has Korea written on it. This one doesn't have anything I can really discern on here. I think there might be some very ornate initials here. And its tip is missing, but I may find a new round and put a tip on there. But I picked that for $10. Really kind of cool swagger sticks. You know what I mean? I thought that was kind of spiffy, especially trench art. Trench art makes me smile. Then we have this, which is a sanding bow. I've never heard of a sanding bow before. It uses a 20-inch belt, and you just can sand with it. And I thought that was kind of cool because it will give you a nice, for soft edges and round things like that, that'll give you a nice response to it. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. I paid $2 for it. And I'm like, I'd never even heard of one of these things before. We have a Aqualung diving knife, and this is in rough shape. I paid $5 for it. The edge is butter knife dull, and the guard has been really, really mangled. It's missing completely right there. So I may remove the guard, or may leave the guard like it is and just sharpen it. But the serration is actually, the tips are in nice shape. The serration itself is also very dull, but I can fix that. But it's got a nice thick blade, full tang, nice hammer, good sheath, everything's complete. So I thought that was cool. For $5, I can rehabilitate it. It has a nice heft to it, and I like that. We just have an Irwin quick grip clamp, which I picked up cheap, because I like those. I've got one already, and now I have two. And then we have this, which is, I purchased as an art piece, but it's an actual wood block from printing posters from 1900. And this is, obviously, it's the letter I. For large posters, like, you know, for shows and things, put them on sides of buildings and stuff. But I thought that was kind of cool, and I picked that up for, how much? I don't know how much did I pay for this? I don't remember. But it's designed to be hung up on a wall as art, which is what I'm going to do with it. So I just thought it was attractive. And this in here, this crusty bit, that's just old ink. That's just really cool, because they would wipe off the ink that you didn't need. But in here, it would just build up in layers. If you're not careful, it actually flakes off. But I thought that was attractive. So I picked it up for, I think, $1 or so at an estate sale. It was a very bad estate sale. The house was in the middle of nowhere. It was hard to get to. It was a time capsule to 1978. The decor was horrible. It had a great fireplace, but the guys didn't move anything for the family because no one could get to it, and it was very poorly attended. And one more thing before I leave today, if you like my videos about bargains, you should go to and follow me on Instagram. Yes, I'm actually plugging my Instagram here. If I remember, I'll put the Instagram at the end of the video, because I post pictures of things I find while I'm out bargain hunting that I don't buy because I just simply don't want them, or they have no use for them. But they're weird things. So I take pictures of those and post them on my Instagram. Also, sometimes I post pictures from the estate sales I visit. So if you might find those that interesting, particularly if you like these kind of videos. So there you go. This has been the latest bargain video with some weird things and some potential useful items. So I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I know I had fun hunting for these things. But there you go.